Aha! Now you don't hear so. Good evening and welcome to Mayegun's Diary Political Tonight. Tonight is also the American election eve. So later tonight, when the election results begins to come in, I'm going to come back on Mayegun's Diary where we're going to have a special session for all my friends, you who are living in America, who have voted. So you have the opportunity of joining me live from your base in America. So if you are going to be interested, just watch out for the link to join me on the live broadcast, so you can tell us how it's going. How it is going in America. At least you Nigerians residing in America, it will be great to have you or have a session for you if you would be interested in joining. So we'll do that later tonight. So if you read the caption of the broadcast, it is just to tell you that as much as people are trying to justify the be patient request of the government of Nigeria, you will think they were genuine. And when people like us are raising the alarm, telling you that whatever the government says they are going to do, there is no plan of doing anything. EndSARS protest caught them unaware. And the fact that when they were asking for dialogue, you will think the reason for, their reason for asking for dialogue with the youth during the protest was because they had good intention of fixing or addressing the problem, but they had none. They just wanted some people to stand up and say, we are the leaders, so they can arrest them. But since they couldn't get anyone, and the protest lasted longer than they thought, and they unleashed violence on the protesters. So, ladies and gentlemen, the government of Nigeria have started now, going after those who they consider as the sponsor or those who promoted the EndSARS protest in Nigeria. So they have placed about 50 of them. Many of them, they pick their data from their social media. So, and in the last 48 hours, we have seen an increase in the request of the political office holders in Nigeria demanding that the social media should be regulated. The first, it was the Minister of Information or Misinformation, Lai Mohammed, that came out and said we should have, the National Assembly should make a law for us, a law that will allow us to be able to switch off and switch on the internet in Nigeria, the social media, at any time they want. Especially now that people don't listen to the radio anymore, people don't watch their TV anymore. Therefore, they all get their news and their quotes and everything from the social media. That was what Lai Mohammed said. Lagos State House of Assembly members who are currently facing serious, barrage of criticism all over the world from Nigerians on social media, because they said the social media gave the young people the power to organize, the power to call for protest, and the power to group so easily that they have seen social media as the most dangerous thing to Nigeria now. Social media, according to Nigerian politicians, the Nigerian government, and the northern state governors, social media is more dangerous to Nigeria than Boko Haram. It is more dangerous than bandits. It is more dangerous than corruption. It is more dangerous than executive or state-sponsored terrorism. Social media is dangerous, and to them, something needs to be done. So the same northern governors, and when we say northern state governors, don't let anybody keep telling you that the agenda of APC, okay, is this, and the agenda of APC is different from agenda of PDP. It is a complete deceit that if you fall for it, and you continue to fall for it, it is at your own peril. There is no difference between them. PDP governors, APC governors in the northern part of Nigeria, 19 of them, including Benue and Plateau states. In fact, they had to go and meet at the governor of Kaduna State. Governor of Kaduna State lodge in Kaduna. So the governor of Kaduna State is no other person than the El Rufai. The El Rufai, the small Hitler of Kaduna, he was the one who, he was the one who hosted them. And guess who are those who attended the meeting where they all decided that social media must be regulated? That is the position of the North. From their position, right, those who attended, the police IG was there. The Senate president was there. All the 19 state governors in the northern part of Nigeria were there. The emirs, the sultan, so many other traditional rulers, they called them, okay, from different communities in the northern part of Nigeria. They all came together. First, they agreed that SARS must not be banned. That no, nothing. I mean, instead of banning SARS, they should reform it. So they are also taking a position that the social media bill must go on. And I will tell you about the social media bill, okay? So, because according to them, End SARS protest was not because of police brutality. It was because of people wanted to topple government of Buhari. It was a coup. Now, you may not have an idea what this is now. You know, Nigeria is a country whereby the criminals in government, right? They have the right to free captured or repentant terrorists. Abi, that is Nigeria for you. But if you hold a flag, and you hold a placard, and you say revolution now, or you say Biafra, Biafra, you will be treated as a terrorist. That is the state of Nigeria right now. Now, what they want to do here is that with the social media law, especially, what do you call it? The position of the northern state governors, or let me say the position of the North right now. So they agreed, they said the police brutality in Nigeria that the people protested for was not about police brutality and the rest of that. It was simply about how to topple Buhari. Now, to topple Buhari, they are now framing people up, framing them up, putting all their intelligence agents and all that, setting them after individuals, and they say that is investigating them of the intention of End SARS. Do you get that now? So they will frame you up if you are holding a flag, and they will give you a red carpet, private jet to fly you from Niger Republic down to Nigeria, okay? If you are a repentant terrorist. That is what Nigeria is right now, okay? Now, the northern governors who are battling with bandits, battling with, what do you call it, poverty, that is of astronomical value, dead economy, right? They are battling with Boko Haram, ISWAP. They are battling with Fulani terrorists, okay? Now, all of this, and including religious extremism, these are the things that are undermining the development of the northern part of Nigeria, including Nigeria as a whole. They are not bothered about them at all. They are more interested in why you are posting it on social media. Why must you post the killings of civilians in southern Kaduna on social media? Why do you have to tell the world about it? Why do you have to show it to the world that a whole state governor was collecting bribe and he was pocketing the money? Why would you go on social media and post that? Who gave you the authority? So if you do that, why would you go on social media and post about Boko Haram graduating? Who gave you the authority? That is where Nigeria is now going now. Do you get that now? That is exactly where Nigeria is, or that is where Nigeria is right now. So when they say, let us talk about restructuring Nigeria, listen to this. So, things that really help the people, their people, okay? They needed presidency. They put up all manners of conspiracies in order for them to get the presidency, including killing their own people. They are supposed to be leaders that protect their people, Abi. So they needed power to protect their people. They put up conspiracies to gain that power. Now they have the power. They are feeling intimidated because their people are still not safe. Corruption hasn't stopped. The poverty in the land has escalated. More people are living in IDP camps than they were 5 years ago. Even though they control the military, they control the CBN, they control the National Assembly, they control the presidency, they control the judiciary. They have the access to buy any weapon. But still, after getting the power, their people are still not safe. So they now found that the only thing that is keeping them in power, the only thing that keeps them more powerful all the time, the only thing that makes them feel invincible, the only thing that keeps them as the only threat to Nigeria, from day one, they have always been the northern leaders of Nigeria. The only reason why they have had all that clout and power was because of ignorance, deliberate ignorance on their people. Social media is exposing that. Social media is giving a new narrative in the core northern part of Nigeria. The younger generation there, as you have them in the southern part of Nigeria, where people, are you with me? Where people are speaking up and continue to take their leaders to the cleaners every now and then. Igbos will take their leaders to the cleaners. The Yorubas will take their cleaners to, their own leaders to the cleaners. But they continue to try and force the mentality of Rankadede. Rankadede. Our leaders can never be wrong. God chose our leaders, so therefore they can never be wrong. That northern mentality that is now creeping into the southern part of Nigeria, social media is the only weapon defeating that ignorance in the southern part of Nigeria. Social media is now reroding into the northern part of Nigeria. It is defeating religious extremism. It is defeating the northern-southern dichotomy, the falsehood that they have shared for so long. Social media is exposing a lot. And with time, the ignorance that make them powerful in the northern part of Nigeria will disappear. Social media pushed the younger people in northern part of Nigeria to see through the EndSARS protest of people who are in Nigeria, the younger people in Nigeria. Social media, EndSARS protest inspired many of them, and they started mobilization for secure North, end banditry, end Boko Haram, end poverty, end corruption, end this, end that. Things that they were never allowed to talk about. Social media. That's the power. They decided to say, this is fake news. That one is 8 news. This one is fake news. That is 8 news. But when you play their videos, when you listen to their interviews, the political criminals in Nigeria who cannot define what is hate speech, what is fake news, when they are actually the real producers of fake news. What do you call fake news? News that are not real. How many news, how many promises have this government, have they made to you that have come out to be lies, that have come out to be deceit, that have come out to be fake news? Have they in any way acknowledge their own fake news that they have shared? Is it the ones that Elijah Muhammad has, shared for so many times, for so many years? Who is fact-checking them? Social media. The only opposition they have, the only opposition the political class in Nigeria have is what? Social media. So I want you to understand where they are coming from and why they are coming for social media, because it is the only opposition they have, the one they have no control over. Even though their illiteracy, right, is still pushing them so much in this 21st century, 2020, that a minister or a government in Nigeria believe that they can actually switch off internet, switch off social media, or switch off access to social media completely in their own country, a country of 200 million people. Is that how smart they are? Is that what they think? that they can blind the world from what is going on in Nigeria once they switch off the social media. Social media is the power. Social media is a threat to APC. Social media is a threat to PDP. Social media is a threat to the elite in Nigeria. Social media is a threat to the lie they have told you for so long. And that is why they are coming for it. Even though they are going to fail, but they are going to brutalize people. They are going to do a lot of things, a lot of bad things to people. I mean, in their own warped mind, deluded mind, that they can use all of that to intimidate people into submission. Social media, they are coming for the only power you have. It is not that you have any power to stop them, especially in Nigeria, but we can keep enlightening ourselves to understand the threat that those in charge of Nigeria pose to the life and existence of an average Nigerian. Yourself, if you still call yourself Nigerian, you need to understand it. A PDP government will shoot and kill you once it feels intimidated that your presence on social media is putting their own, tyranny, putting their own tyranny, putting their own dictatorship in check. Social media. So if you are a social media influencer and you don't know the power that you have, the tool that you hold, if you don't value the power yet, some of them know the power and they are scared of what you can do with it. Social media. So if you join them to say social media should be regulated, you are putting a noose, you are putting a chain around your neck, and you are just throwing yourself off the cliff to hang yourself. You need to understand. The northern governors are not in any way felt like they should use the power of social media to build unity, honesty, responsibility, to be responsible and responsive to their own citizens. That is the only thing social media is demanding. The freedom of expression without any censorship from anybody. Government lied to you all the time. They told you they are going to be paying you 5,000 naira every month, and they are going to be paying you the salary of your discipline. If you graduate, right, and before you get a job, the government, APC, said they were going to be paying you money. Remember, they said that. They said they are going to be feeding the children 1 meal a day. Remember, they said that. They told you they are going to create 3 million jobs in every year. So in 5 years, they were supposed to create 15 million jobs. But you know what happened? When they came in, right, they crashed the economy. And today, you have over 30 million Nigerians who have joined unemployment market. Those are the people who had jobs in 2015. They have no jobs again. Many of them are watching me. Many of them are no longer in Nigeria. They had to leave because of this government. They lied to you, didn't they? They told you. They told you that they were going to recover looted fund and they are going to use the same looted fund. They will give you details and account of that. It took them 4 years before they could come up with a fake figure of a returned loot. When they now started the probe of that, we found out that the man that has been, going after thieves was a thief himself. It was in fact named Magu Luther King. So what else would you call a fake news when you deliberately put out lies on the social media to deceive your citizens and make them the official statement of government, and they turn out to be lies only because social media can dig and fact check everything your government is pushing out? Now you are coming for that social media because you couldn't control it. You couldn't control the narrative. They spend billions and billions of naira every month across the country. Both state government, local government, politicians, rep, all of them spending loads and loads of money on social media influencers to keep changing the narrative, trying to make the reality, to build lies. So they are coming for it. And they are not just coming. Something happened that I need you to know as well about Lekki toll gates, okay? You remember the judicial panel set up by government of Lagos State. And you remember as well that on the night of 20th of October 2020, the day and the night that the Nigerian military, Nigerian soldiers mobilized and they shot and killed over 78 peaceful protesters at Lekki Toll Gate. The government of Lagos State that night, before the shooting, they sent in the LCC, the Lekki construction company, or whatever they call themselves, Lekki LCC. They sent their own repairer to go and remove the CCTV camera from that scene. We saw the picture. Social media exposed them. The governor of Lagos State came on, and the governor of Lagos State said, well, the removed cameras were infrared cameras for the cars and for plate numbers. He lied, because he also said that the CCTV camera was working. It wasn't removed. They weren't removed. Therefore, they will provide or produce the footage for that night. The LCC, the MD for the LCC in Lekki was at the judicial hearing today, and he said their own CCTV stopped working exactly from 8 p.m. that night. The soldiers opened fire on the people exactly around that time and killed 78 people. They took their bodies away, dumped some of them in the river. Later, their bodies have been found, and some bodies that they also dumped at their own mortuary, they hurriedly moved them away, right, to hide them from the visiting judicial panel in Lagos State, okay? So when they called the company said, well, their CCTV camera stopped working from 8 p.m. that night. So they don't have the video of what happened that night, because the CCTV also observed curfew that night. That is the, that is to tell you that the the judicial panel nonsense that the government lied to you, that they are setting up, it is just a decoy, a complete lie, a ruse.